So let's put our hands together for Mr. Chris Nielson.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it. So don't stop.
You can get up and dance too. Can you feel it? I mean, you feel like it just pop right out of that seat. You're not feeling it. I'm the only one feeling it. Why aren't we getting up? Are we not daring to suck? Are you not daring to suck? You got enough chance. I'm the only one. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Yes! Thank you for making that happen.
Come on, Victor.
You don't, but you dare. Dare to suck. You know, where did that happen? How did it change my life? You know, there's magic in this world. I'm breathing hard. Dare to suck. Well, who wants to know the secret to success in improv in life? My teacher, Jackie Lowell, told us in improv class. And I said, yeah, I want to know that secret. Yeah, Jerry, thank you. Anyone else want to know that secret? Cool. And Jackie said, dare to suck. And I said, no. I've been avoiding sucking my entire life. I don't want to dare to do this. No, but the person next to me, it's like they're shaking their head. Yeah, that sounds good. And I'm going, what's wrong with them? And the person here, it's almost like they're floating out of their chair. But not me. So I looked back. Why don't we dare? Does anyone know? Why you don't dare? What's fear? Yes. So I want you guys to point to the most dangerous person in this room, to you. Point to them right now. I see that up there, Peter. Yeah. It's us. Let me get more than 18 minutes, Jerry. It's us. We're the most dangerous person in the world. So why wouldn't I dare to suck? I want to take you back to a miserable middle school moment. I was about to give a speech. But before that speech, I'd heard a commercial on TV, a dry idea commercial. Any guesses? Never let them, yes, some of you guys know it. Never let them see you sweat. I'm sweating right now, by the way, because I sweat a lot. Good thing as a kid, no basketball coach ever, or baseball coach, or whatever coach I had playing sports, never said, Chris, don't sweat so much. Just can you play a little slower, move a little slower? We don't want to see you sweating so much. But some of the kids on the other team said, I don't want to guard Chris. He sweats a lot. So I had that in the head, and I had a critical voice. My dad was pretty critical of me as a kid. And the good thing, it wasn't, you can't do it, you can't do anything right. It was, do it better, do it smarter. A minus, why not an A? All these things, it could be better, but that didn't feel very good. So I took that critical voice on. That's where I became the most dangerous person in the world to me. And I remember one day running up the stairs in middle school. It was dark. It was in between classes. No one was around, yet I was worried that someone would see me trip and fall, and they would make fun of me. And the person that would see me would be me, because I'd taken on my dad's heavy lifting. I was that super critical person. So that middle school moment, I was to give a speech. And in that speech, I was sweating the night before. I was sweating on the way to class. I was sweating as I sat down. And then when she called on me, it's like the sweat poured like never before. And I just wanted to get out of there. I felt like I'm going to get rejected. I'm going to die, felt that bad, and a part of me is I want to die, is that moment was seared into me, branded in me, and it was haunted me like a ghost every time I'd speak thereafter. Ha ha! I'm here, Chris. Ha ha! I'm here. So that moment and that programming, never let them see you sweat. Anyone have a program that has negatively affected them? If you raise your hand, it helps. This is for everyone. If you raise your hand up, everyone look around and see who it is. Who's had a program that's negatively affected them? Yeah. I think we've all had programs that negatively affected us. That's just one of mine, and I didn't see it so clearly until much later in life. I did some crazy things so you wouldn't see me sweat. Do you want to hear some of those crazy things? I put an ice pack down my pants. And it was an exhilarating experience. But it still didn't stop the sweating. Now this next one. I wore panty liners. And some of you guys are thinking, what did he just say? Yeah, it was panty liners. And some of you are going to, where did you wear them? Right here, of course. What are you guys thinking? Both arms. They worked in practice. I did a practice speech. It's all good. Nothing dry. I'm good. I'm feeling good. Given this important speech, and at least important to me, sad thing, I look down and go, oh no. Panty liner, dry island. Lake of sweat. Perfect outline. Both arms. So, why am I here? Why am I having fun with you today? It's because I got over some of those things and some of the things worked for me. And I want to talk about that. Dare to suck, I believe, is a key to success. Some people say that, who knows that failing is the key to success? Anyone know that? Do you own it? I think a lot of people don't actually own it. You know, we resist it. Who got up and danced when I came in? Stacy did, yes. And we don't own that failing leads to success, and why don't we own it? Because we don't want to look foolish. And I studied that too. So let's go quick back to caveman days. If you were to stand up and speak, what could happen to you? If you would speak in the clan, what could happen? Whoa. Challenged, could you be stoned to death? Could you be clubbed? Whoop. The end? What is even worse than all of that? Rejected. Thank you, Jerry. Rejected from the tribe, sent away. All by yourself. You lose everyone. You're rejected, and up on the hill, there's two saber-toothed tigers. And they're saying to themselves, lunch. Yes, they're saying lunch is served. So not only do you lose your people, but that. So I look at that. Why do we fear this? Because of all these crazy things. So dare to suck. How do we get to that point? How do we own it? Daring to suck is scary. If you were to suck down those milkshakes really fast, it would hurt. Brain freeze. Mindset. Anyone read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck? 2, 3, 4. That's it? 5 people? Mindset is a powerful book. It changed my life. And it kind of converged with me doing improv. And Carol Dweck is the writer of the book, a Stanford professor. And she calls 2 mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I'll give you the 35-second version of the book. In the fixed mindset, if you fail, you are the failure. In the growth mindset, if you fail, it's just feedback on how to get better. Which one do you think would feel better? Failure, you're the failure. Failure is just feedback. I had this one. I didn't want to fail publicly. I didn't want to look bad. So, and I'll give you an example of what that looks like, of a kid walking a tightrope. Here's the fixed mindset kid walking your tightrope. Hey, I'm too cool for this tightrope. I don't want to do it. Not going to do it. They know it's a skill they haven't learned. They know they're going to fail, and they know they're not going to look good. They don't want to be rejected. So they're shoved out on the tightrope. Fine, I'll do your stupid tightrope. And they step out on the tightrope, and they fall in the net, and the net hurts, and they go, I'm done with that. They're done. The growth mindset kid steps out on the tightrope. Falls into the net. This net's awesome. This is great. They climb up the ladder, and they get on it, and they fall again, and they fall again, and they fall again, and they fall again, and they fall, and they fall 1,000 times more. And then you walk in the room, and then they're crossing this tightrope. Just so good. And you're going, oh my gosh, you're a natural. You're amazing. It's because they put in that effort. And here's how I found on this mindset, and I realized I cursed my daughter with this mindset. Michaela, you're smart. You're intelligent. Whatever you put your mind, you can do. You're a great athlete. She had this label. It turns out this is a label they don't want to lose. Carol Dweck in The Experiment did this. One group, she said, wow, you did really well on the test. You must be very smart. Other group, she said, wow, you did really well on the test. You must have worked really hard. The group that was told they were smart didn't want to risk doing the harder test. The group that was told they worked hard wanted, no, don't give us the same easy test again. We want harder and harder tests. So that mindset changed me. The other thing that changed me is this voice in my head. Who's really critical of themselves by a show of hands? That's a disease out there. I see it all over. Yeah, thank you for sharing. What really changed me is becoming really compassionate with me. Self-compassion allows you to look at feedback more accurately. When I play and coach with people, I can tell when they're hard on themselves, when they don't like the word feedback. I got the honor to work with some Microsoft employees a couple times, even just yesterday. Yeah, I was in Austin, Texas just yesterday, and they're with the Microsoft partner group. And there were some Microsoft people in the room, and I asked them, do you guys use the word feedback anymore? And they don't. Can you guess what word they use? Perspective. They actually changed kind of the environment of what they do. Changed it to perspective. And it's a powerful thing. I help people get excited about feedback, but they actually changed the word to make it easier. So Jackie Lowell, that's not her, but she was my improv Yoda. And when we were in class, she would ask, when I'm sitting not getting up, what are you saying to yourself that you're not getting up? Failure, rejection, death. Those things were coming to me. You know, we played a game called Pass the Object. And this is where you take an object and you turn it into something that it isn't. In our group, they gave us a white toilet brush. And with this white toilet brush, people were turning it into cool things, like a Q-tip. I could see this big white Q-tip. Butterfly net. I could see the butterfly net. I got nothing. Badminton racket, tennis racket. They're doing all these things and nothing, and this voice is coming up. You're going to fail. You're going to get rejected. You're going to die. Or you're going to want to die. Because it flashed back to that middle school moment. And so that was haunting me, and I finally came up with something. Canoe paddle. I go, oh, that's just cool enough. Canoe paddle. And then the person right next to me, they say, canoe paddle. And hand me this brush, and that voice is saying, I told you so. And I had nothing, and nothing was coming to me, and all of a sudden I found myself brushing my teeth with a toilet brush. And I survived that moment. I survived the moment. I want to share you Michael Jordan, one of my heroes. Famous quote, I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded. You know, I didn't own that. He owned it. Babe Ruth, anyone know how many home runs he had? 612? Did someone say 714? 714 home runs. Do you know how many strikeouts he had? 1,330. And I said to myself, Chris, what are you willing to strike out 1,330 times to be at the top of your game? And some baseball writers at the time wrote, failure was a shameful act. Or striking out was a shameful act. And a lot of people would choke up on the bat, take a half swing just to make contact. Let me go back for a second. Anyone heard of Sarah Blakely? Do you know what her father used to have around the dinner table, the ritual? what is your best failure of the week? She attributes that to her success. Her dad would be disappointed if the kids didn't have a good failure for that week. What is your best failure of the week? And so they'd come up and play with it. I want to show you quick on your worksheets, they have it too, the principles of improv that changed my life. 2 words changed my life. Can you guess what they were? What was that? Dare to suck, that's part of it, but that's 3. 2. Yes, and. Are you an improver? No, you just know. So yes, and is the basic principle of improv. Someone sends a premise to you. Say we're in the basement of a bunker. You say, yes, we are, and we're crazy enough to talk and get excited while the whole world is imploding around us. So yes, and saying something to this. And this can really change your life, your teams, it made me a better person by saying yes. And I was a no but kind of guy. No but, I got a better idea for you. How many people like someone when you share your best idea? They say, no, but I got a better idea. Anyone like someone like that? You're laughing. You don't like that person? I didn't realize I was a jerk. So the second is listen, be present. This is a beautiful one. And here's a definition of listening that I'm taking on myself. Listen with the willingness to be changed. Listen with the willingness to be changed. Now, if you're present, when you're present, is there any fear? There isn't any fear when you're present. Make your partner look good. What if whole teams at corporations and families work this way? You may look to make the other person look good. Dare to suck. Well, let's go back. Let's do that right now. Let's tell a story together. You ready for a story? Yes! Hey, I'm ready. All right. So, you're gonna tell the story with me. We're gonna create a story together. So who has a hero? Shout it out.
Iron Man.
Iron Man is the hero of this story. And now we need a theme. What?
Putting on his pantyhose.
Iron Man putting on his pantyhose. That's, I guess, our theme. So here we go. And here's this. When I reach out like this, I want you to shout out so I can clearly hear it. Shout out a word, a phrase, a sentence, a character. Fill in the blank. Here we go. Iron Man was looking at himself in the mirror one morning, and he saw something he didn't like. And he said,
Pimple.
Pimple. Dang it. I hate those pimples. Don't like it. They remind me when I was a teenager and all that horrible time in my life. And Iron Man started to cry, and he cried so much.
It looked like sweat.
It looked like sweat. And he'd heard that commercial as a kid, never let them see you sweat. And he started to feel all insecure and stuff. And when he's feeling insecure, we do foolish things when we're insecure. So he froze. Because that's right. When you're afraid, you go into fight, flight, or bananas. He said, that's what I need. I need bananas because they always make me feel good. So he peeled the banana and he was about to take a bite and it
sucked.
It sucked. It was a rotten banana and he threw it away. He threw it away. And when he threw it away, all of a sudden he saw his nemesis coming towards him. Dr. Evil. A little cat with an eye patch called Dr. Evil. He didn't like it. When he was in his suit, he didn't like Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil was staring him down, and he was backing up, and he slipped on that banana peel, and he fell on his back, and Dr. Evil jumped on him, and it was right next to his face, and Dr. Evil kissed him on both cheeks. Because Dr. Evil wasn't really evil. He loved Iron Man. There was just a misunderstanding, and Iron Man could see life through a new lens. He was no longer afraid of Dr. Evil. He felt amazing and present and alive. So he didn't need to put on the pantyhose. He had bought those because he was afraid people would see him sweat through his Iron Man suit. So thank you for telling that story with me. So you guys said yes, and you listened, you were present, you made me look good, or we dared. I dared with you. I love playing this with teams, with nonprofits, one of my favorite things in the world to do is work with the Alzheimer's Association. We work with caregivers there. And we get them to help them say yes and to their people instead of argue that it's not 1975, and they're not connecting. And I call connection a compass question. Are you connecting or disconnecting? Because when you're connected with someone, they want to do what you're asking them to do. With connection, magic comes. I hope we can connect with each other. Love. I think love changes the world. I think love belongs in business. Don't you want your people to love you? Don't you want your customers to love you? In love, we go the extra mile. We go the extra 10 miles. Arugula. That's the phrase my girlfriend came up when you make a mistake. You say arugula. Can you all give me an arugula? Arugula. One more time. Arugula. So we celebrate failure. Thank you so much.